Got it? Understood the meaning of would,
Yes,
use
ma'am.
of would,
Would.
right? Next is may. Okay, may we use very commonly to show possibility. Now, may is a very polite word. Okay, so to show possibility, it may rain tomorrow. Now we are not very sure. There is a doubt, right? So it may rain tomorrow. There is a possibility, and it may or may not happen.
I
To
can
show
see
purpose,
the cloud in the sky. I can see the cloud in the sky. It may rain tomorrow.
right? Correct. Okay. Second, to show purpose. She has worked so hard for the project, so she may win the competition. Okay. Next is to take permission. So, may I leave the room? Or like we teach the children that always take permission if you want to go out of the class. So, what will you say? May I drink water? Right? So, it's a politely taking permission. Right? Then, request. May I borrow your pen? Okay. Now, try to use may in your sentence.
May I ask your name?
Yes,
When
that is also
when we
correct.
meet somebody,
Hmm.
then we can ask, may I ask your name in
Yes,
a polite way? And
correct.
mhm, uh, may I wind up this session because
Right.
time is getting over.
Yes, that's also
And
correct.
if I work hard, I
Hmm.
may be a good speaker in future.
Yes, I may become a good speaker.
I may become a good speaker.
Correct. Right? Okay, next one is might.
Might.
Might is the past form of may. Okay, now the functions are quite similar. Polite expression, like might I give you a suggestion, right?
Yes.
Express intuition. I feel she might take a class today as well. Or I feel she might take a leave today as well. Okay, to for showing a lesser possibility. So lesser possibility, like like the previous year, she might win this year too, but there is a lesser possibility. Okay, it might not happen, so lesser chances of happening something.
Okay.
Okay, for example, in
Lesser
the we use it
possibility.
very commonly in these elections. So there, like last year, like the last term, the you never know, the government might win the elections too this time, but there is a lesser possibility because we don't know na, right? So we
Yes.
are just
Yes.
talking about a possibility.
Yes. So might is used lesser possibility and assumptions and
Hmm.
past of may and
Hmm. To express
in the future
intuition.
request in intuition.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay.
Now intuition, we feel that the maid might not come today.
Yeah.
That kind of intuition.
Yes.
So sometimes you do have intuitions like this na.
Yes, ma'am.
He might be like late today again. So we have these intuitions. So use
Yes.
to make that, to make sentences around that, use might. May and might are basically very polite. Okay, the
Yes.
emphasis is not very much. We are not expressing some kind of a strong idea. They are polite and milder versions, like lesser possibilities, something for which the chances are very less. Okay, in that ways we use may and might.
Yes.
Okay. Next are shall and should. Shall, shall and should. Shall is essentially used in a formal conversation.
I shall.
Okay. Yes. So I shall
I
go
shall.
there. These are used in some formal scenarios, not informally. Informally we use I will. I will do
I will.
this. I'll
Yes.
I'll come there tomorrow. Okay. But in formal settings we use shall.
Shall.
Like future actions. I shall take a class tomorrow. Now, but this is a formal thing. You're speaking to someone in a formal settings.
Yes.
For saying suggestions or advice, shall I bring you some books? Okay, again here it's formal,
Formal.
right?
Okay.
Now can you try to use shall in your sentence?
In formal ways, shall is
Hmm.
used like, shall I, shall
And
I
shall
write,
is
shall
hmm,
I write some tips of whatever you are telling me?
right. Okay.
And
And shall goes with I. I shall do
I,
this, I shall not do this.
yes,
Okay. So the pronoun I takes shall with this when we are talking in a formal tone.
yes,
So I shall go to the meeting, I shall go for the meeting tomorrow. Okay. Or I shall go to meet him tomorrow. Anything like that. The pronoun I always takes shall in a formal setting. Next is should. Should is the past tense, past form of shall. Okay. But now should can be used with other pronouns as well, like you, he, they. All right. The roles, the meanings are should is used for giving advice first, which is, for example, you should practice enough sums. Okay.
okay,
Your camera has gone off, Kalpana. Next is to express instructions, right? For example, you should behave properly in front of your grandparents. So we are giving instructions. Hello, can you hear me?
now, yes, ma'am, now I'm able to see.
No, I can still not see you, Kalpana. Your camera is off.
Now is okay.
Yes, now I can see you. Okay. Now should. So for expressing instructions, you should behave properly in front of your parents. Okay. Then to express opinions.
Yes, yes,
Okay. He should be concerned about his future.
yes,
Okay. Next is express purpose, but after conjunction lest. Now, this is not very commonly used. For example, they left early lest they should miss the bus. This is not very commonly used. So, the word lest itself is not very commonly used. It is used in very, literature and written forms. So, let it be. So, have you understood should?
yes, ma'am.
Can you try to use it in your own sentence?
Your exams is about to come, so uh,
Hmm.
you should study hard.
Yes. Right. Okay. Next, must. Now must is, we use must very often, but must has, very strong feelings attached to it. So when we are showing some great necessity, okay, now the emphasis is very strong. Should is like a suggestion, you are suggesting. You are not emphasizing, you're not forcing the other person to take that advice, to follow that advice. Must is used in a similar manner, however you are putting in a lot of emphasis on it, that somebody has to do it, very strongly you're suggesting that you have to do it. So must, to show necessity, I must meet him today. So there is a necessity, so some work is very necessary. Next is to express sense of duty. Okay, you must ensure saving for your family, right? You must ensure that you reach there on time. Okay. Next is to show obligation. For
Okay,
example, children must obey their parents, or students must listen to the teacher. Okay. Another one is to express certainty, to express logical certainty. Like after working for the entire day, I'm sure you must be very tired. So it's certain because of there is a logic behind it, right? So when there is some logic, then and there is a certainty involved, then you can use must. Okay. Last one is to express determined actions. Determined actions like we must fight for our rights.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, can you try to use it in your own sentence?
You must practice in your math questions. When you practice, you get more confident in math.
Yes.
And
Yes.
mm, you must be there. You must be in class. If
Hmm.
you miss your class, you never understand the topic.
Yes. Right. So
And
you must attend your classes regularly. Right.
yeah,
You must not be late for your school.
yes,
Right.
you
Got it?
yeah,
Hmm.
you must be
Now
on.
try.
You must, yeah, you must go office on time.
Yes. You must go to office.
You must go to
Okay.
office
Hmm.
and attend, and you must attend that meeting.
Yes. Correct. Okay. Last one is ought to. Ought
What
to we do not use very much in the spoken language. So ought to is used for showing obligations. For example,
obligation?
they ought to tell the truth. Now it is similar to must, but must is used more often in the conversation. Okay. So obligation, like they ought to tell the truth. Okay, again, ought to is used more in a formal conversation or more in written text rather than informal spoken communication. Okay,
Okay.
next is sense of duty. I ought to protect my family under all the circumstances. So, this is my moral duty I should be doing, right? To express desirability, something that you really desire. I ought to meet him before he leaves. Okay, so something that you really want to do. I ought to meet my parents before I leave for my, before I leave for uh, my city or what.
Okay.
Okay.
I am much better in my subject science and math.
Yes.
So
Yes. I
it's
can
my
see that.
barrier. So I am trying to push my barrier to get a job.
Yes, definitely. And I can assure you that you will definitely do that because your determination is remarkable. No one is so determined and so hell bent on achieving something. So when you put your heart and mind to it, I'm sure you will achieve it.
Thank you, ma'am.
All the very best to you. My all good wishes are with you, and I really hope that you achieve your dreams and you achieve your goals because you really are capable of doing that. Right, hope to see you soon, and definitely we'll connect. Right, and the next topic I'm going to take is articles.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, all right, bye bye.